You're listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro, the place to learn about new technology and technological advances before they become mainstream. This podcast is sponsored by D-Link Technology. Make your home smarter, safer, and truly seamless. Let's get into it.
Welcome to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. I'm your host, Carrie Roberts, and our guest today is Holly Niedzielski, the Director of Event Marketing, Partner Communities, and Programs at Ingram Micro. As a 23-year veteran at Ingram Micro, Holly leads the strategy of Ingram Micro's One Event, which is Ingram Micro's first worldwide multi-channel event. Welcome, Holly. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks for having me today.
So we are going to be talking today all things about this One Event, and I would love for you to start us off with how did it begin and what was the vision for it?
Yeah, so this was something that, as you mentioned in my bio, I've been with Ingram for a long time, and event strategy was something that's always been part of my responsibility. We do a lot of events at Ingram Micro, upwards of 1,500 a year, and looking at the different events that we had, there was a lot of commonalities along with that. And one of the things we thought about is what is common and what do we want our reseller partners to know, as well as our industry. We wanted to be able to bring together Ingram being the biggest distributor in the world and the largest and has the most breadth and depth. We wanted to be able to show what our power of Ingram Micro was. And what better way to do that with showing the ecosystem of Ingram Micro through a face-to-face event.
And in a digital world today where everybody is online and doing things remotely, why do you feel it's important for people to participate in live in-person events?
Yeah, and that's a great question, right? Because you would think we would probably be going more digital events and things that people could do on trains and buses and in their offices. And while that still holds true, the fact of the matter is people buy from people, and people need relationships and personal connections, and they want to feel comfortable when they're buying from a distributor or they're partnering with a vendor. They're meeting other solution providers that are in their areas of expertise. They want to make sure that they're looking them in the eye, they're shaking their hands, they're building a personal relationship with them, which will then continue business later. And even in the digital world, that is not going to change. And we found that even more and more important as we get less and less away from human interaction.
Yeah, it makes a complete difference. And I think it's great, when you're interacting with people online or on the phone or on podcasts and you get to see them in person, it just creates a whole nother level of interaction, which is great. Do you personally have any stories of interest that you'd love to share from previous One events that you think are great?
Yes, absolutely. So I have quite a few. We started these in 2014, and what's really been very interesting is to see how they started in the beginning. Our very first One event was the first time that we actually put together a real working solution. And what I mean by that is we took, in a ballroom of Las Vegas, or actually it was New Orleans, we put together a store. It was a bakery. We put together a classroom. We put together a hotel room and able to show in real life what the front end of these solutions were and what the back end was. So as a solution provider or a vendor, I could see where my expertise would play. And what was really cool, there was one that we did, which was a school, which was a classroom. And one of our reseller partners was looking in the classroom, and he's looking at all the technology, and he says, okay, well, I sell that server, and I sell that monitor, I sell that keyboard, I can see the software. And he's playing with the desks and the chairs, and he's pulling the desk up and putting it down, and he's looking at it very intently. He said, I never realized how much business I was leaving on the table. I'm looking at it from a technology standpoint. I wasn't looking at it that I could bring the whole solution to the school. I can sell them these desks and these chairs and the ergonomic, things that they need. And thank you for showing me that, because I was leaving all that business on the table. And that was our very first event. And then we knew we had something really special there.
Yeah, I think, the ability to physically see something and be in it, it helps tremendously. Because like you said, you can see all the moving pieces of what works, what's missing. So it's great branding for your company as well as
absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I'll say the other thing too that has been really incredible is now since 2014, we've expanded our one event into 4 different regions globally. So it started in North America, and then we have since gone into the Latin America region. I just came back last Friday from Singapore, where the APAC region had their second annual one event. And earlier this summer, I was in Madrid, where the EMEA region was having their very first one event. So you can see the success in these events that our resellers are seeing, that Ingram obviously is seeing, as well as our vendor partners. And now all the different regions are able to experience the power of one.
Hey everyone, we hope you're enjoying this episode of B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. Let's pause for a moment to recognize our sponsor, D-Link Systems. Are network speeds slowing you down or security risks top of mind? Talk with D-Link Systems. Leverage award-winning products and deploy networks that are second to none with D-Link wireless, surveillance, and switching solutions. Contact Ashley Ruggiero at Ingram Micro today. That's Ashley, ASHLEY.Ruggiero, RUGGERIO at ingrammicro.com. Also, before we jump straight back into today's episode, we wanted to let you know about one of the industry's most important events, Ingram Micro's One 2019 event on November 18th through November 21st at the Gaylord Rockies Convention Center. One is your chance to experience what's new and exciting in security, IoT, cloud, and more. Also, you'll be able to network with other businesses, industry experts, Ingram Micro associates, and our vendor partners. Contact your Ingram Micro representative for details on how to register today. All right, let's get back to the show.
How does Ingram Micro decide where to host these events?
A lot of different things come into play. First of all, it's really where are we going to be able to maximize the space and give the customer the experience that we want them to have. So it all starts in the customer journey. We want to make sure that the space is conducive to these live working solutions. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of space. We also want it to be somewhere where it's interesting for our resellers to go. They want to go there. They want to take a week and 4 or 5 days away from their businesses and their families. The other thing is we want to make sure that it's in an area where the majority of the people is easy to get to. And it's also something that, there's other things around the conference that gives them the ability to witness and learn different things about different areas of the United States as well. So we want to go to interesting places to make sure that they're, not only enjoying their time professionally, but also have a little bit of time personally as well.
And you said you've been doing this event since 2014. What are some of the things that you have learned in the last 5 years to make this event better every single time?
I will say one of the things that we learned the most was there's the technology side of what Ingram Micro does. The other thing that Ingram is really great at helping our reseller partners do is take operating costs out of their businesses. So you wouldn't necessarily think, or many wouldn't think, that a distributor who distributes, products and services in the IT market is somebody that can help a business owner take costs out of their business. But we do that. And we do that in ways by educating on sales and compensation and how do you have a really, good balance sheet and what are some HR challenges and how can we help you, be a subject matter expert in that field? And how do we help you increase your pipeline so you're selling more sales. And it's not just about technology. So it was really something that we had learned that our partners needed, and it was something that we offered and could offer either through Ingram's expertise as a large company or even bringing in consultants to help them do that. And as we've progressed throughout the one events, I don't want to say it's less about technology because we always want to be the cutting edge of technology and show our customers what the roadmap is for technology so they're thinking ahead. But we also learned that just as equally as important is that business acumen that they so desperately need and want as well.
I love that. I love that Ingram Micro is constantly providing the education piece with the technology as well. If somebody is looking to attend, what would you say makes the one event different? Who should be attending and why should they go?
Great question. So one of the things that was really interesting this year, I had the opportunity to have some conversations with IDC, and we were talking about what makes a multi-vendor event interesting? And why do our partners who go to a lot of events a year or have to make a choice of what events a year, what makes them really want to make sure that they attend Ingram's? And what IDC was saying was that events in general are going down in attendance, and people are making less of them. Well, we are actually going the other way. So for an example, over to date, globally, we've had over 2,500 unique partners that have attended our one event. And so our numbers are going up. And why is that? I will say the things that people do not want to miss is that live working solution. For an example, this year, we are going to be doing what we're calling X as a service, which is going to allow our partners to see everything that Ingram Micro and our vendor partners can put together to make it as a service. And we're going to do that in an environment of a coffee shop. So I don't want to tell too much more because I want to create the suspense that people will come and see it. But the other thing is that we are a one-stop shop. So you don't have to go to other conferences. All the vendor conferences that you probably would have gone to are going to be at the one event. And we're able to bring that all into one-stop shop. And there's obviously no mystery on why we have that name, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's incredible. So where can people learn more? And can you give us the dates of when it's happening and how they can register?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to be in the Denver Gaylord Rockies on November 18th through 21st of this year. The Gaylord Rockies is a brand new property. It just opened late last year, so it's not even a year old yet, and it's incredible. You'll get to overlook the mountains of Denver. And you can go to one@ingrammicro.com, and everyone on my team is managing that email box. Registration will be open and is open by the time you're all listening to this. And your Ingram Micro sales rep will be able to help you to get an invitation to that if you haven't already received one, so that you can get involved in the one event.
And my final question for you, Holly, is where do you see technology going within the next year?
Carrie, I always love it when somebody asks a marketer about technology trends. So thank you for asking that. Here's what I see in a couple different areas. Doing some research and understanding what the future is bringing for AI and blockchain. By 2021, AI is going to be in 75% of our commercial apps. So that's something we're definitely hedging our bets on. And with that wraps around a whole bunch of other technologies, such as cloud and data and IoT. So it's definitely something that we at Ingram are making sure that we have business units around and marketing programs to support. And then lastly, in the digital economy, we need more and more people to be able to connect. And in order to move from a single economy to a connected economy, they can't do it all alone. So while it's not necessarily technologically driven, it's how to thrive in the ecosystem that we're in. And partners, our reseller partners, are going to have to partner with each other to put together the software systems and computer hardware and software solutions that the end users are demanding, because they can't do it alone. So the best part is that Ingram Micro is here to help them do all of that.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Holly, for sharing the background of this, what's coming, and your excitement for it all.
Well, thank you, Carrie. I really appreciate it.
If you like this episode or have a question, join the discussion on Twitter at Ingram Tech Soul with the hashtag B2B Tech Talk. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro.
You've been listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro, hosted by Carrie Roberts and sponsored by D-Link Technology. B2B Tech Talk is a joint production by Sweetfish Media and Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro production handled by Laura Burton and Christine Fan. To not miss an episode, subscribe today in your favorite podcast platform.